Hi loves, it's Emmy. Welcome back to my channel. If you are returning, if you're new, then welcome. So it is snow day number 2 for us today in the beautiful Willamette Valley. And this it's just weird. It's weird because we get snow occasionally, but yesterday we got a foot and a half of snow. At most, we get usually a couple inches. I mean, and so yesterday, getting a foot and a half was odd. So obviously the schools were closed yesterday. I think all the schools closed last night for today because it had warmed up a little bit yesterday, and some of the snow melted. Like it melted off the trees a little bit, which was good because there was a bunch of down power lines and everything. But it's all still here. There's still at least a foot of snow on the ground, on top of cars, on the street. Like, it's just crazy. And it's supposed to snow again tonight. It stopped snowing yesterday around noon, I think, finally. And then it just like dropped in temperature as the day went on. Today it's supposed to get up to like 35, but I think it got up to like that yesterday, and not a ton melted. But then at like 5, it's supposed to start snowing again and snow all night. And I'm not talking like 20% chance of snow. I'm talking there's like an 80% chance of snow, 80, 90, or 100% chance of snow from like 5 or 6 p.m. until 9 a.m. But it only said 9 a.m. because that was like the last time that my phone went. Because it wasn't, I looked this morning like 8, so it was like, more than 24 hours doesn't go. So anyways, I figured I'd come on and do a FlossTube because I have stitched a little bit of stuff. I've gotten some progress on kind of like what I consider like my 2 main projects, which are the Field of Fox and the American Primitive. And then I've started 2 things. No, I just started 1 thing. I was gonna start Tule, which is, I'll bring it up. It's a Hade, and it's gorgeous. It's one that I've wanted to start for a while. Let's look it up. It's a little bit provocative, and so I never know how to spell it. No, I don't mean Toulon. Oh my gosh. Stupid autocorrect. Nope, nothing. Let me just get it out. It's right here. It's a black and white picture, but so I've wanted to start this one for a while, and I need to get some fabric done. Toil? Maybe that's how you say it. No, because toil would be Toil. I think it's toile. I don't know. Anyways. So I'll try to get a little bit of light. But anyways. I'll look it up a little bit. I think she's gorgeous. I love that kind of like creepy, macabre stuff. And so hold on, I'm looking it up. Honey. I'm watching The Office, so that's what you hear in the background. Okay, so toilet, Melanie. No, that's not it. Of course, like, no, I'm not gonna get it. So she does some kind of provocative stuff, and really what I mean by provocative is like she's topless in it. So it's not, I mean, like super crazy. I don't think it's one of her like big ones, but I just think it's stunning. She has a lot of them on here that I wish we could get. as a Haid, like, that one I think is gorgeous. But see, like, obviously if you don't like that aesthetic, then you're not gonna like it. But whatever. Um Whatever. Anyways. I hope you can see it. But there's like skeletons and stuff, and so it basically looks like she kind of has her hands like this, and it's like webs of like, you know, like spider webs and like, you know, fog and stuff. But it's just a really cool image. And I've had to differentiate now between like, okay, do I just really love the artwork and do I want the print, or should I like actually stitch it? And this was one where I was like, I would really love to stitch that. I think it'd look really cool. So I wanted to start that one, but I didn't have the right fabric. And you guys know that I'm playing chicken with my Contessa, with Beatrice, and I didn't want to do that again. I want to be able to put her on a Q-snap and just stitch her. So I think I'm going to wait a little bit and start her when I get some more funds / when I feel like I'm in a good place to start it. Okay, let's do some whip updates. I only have the 2. Well, and then I have some new starts, so I'll just show you guys that. So America Primitive, if you guys don't know, I'm doing this sampler. And this is hopefully going to be my fair piece. And I may be able to insert a picture of what it looked like. I don't know. I don't know if I'm that fancy. Before I had finished the sampler part, and now I'm kind of on the ends. So I got some of that little shield done. That's going to be the bottom part of the flag. So my hope is to kind of go to town on that one today for the snow day, because I got a lot stitched yesterday. I got some stitched yesterday. I did a lot of sewing yesterday and on Sunday, so I'll show you guys that too. Okay, where is Field of Flux? This is the problem when you make project bags, is that you just have a bag full. You have this feeling of like, well, every project needs a project bag. No, it doesn't. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Okay, so Field of Flux looks like this. Nope. So last time, if I can figure it out, I will insert a picture of what it looks like. And I actually did a lot of work on this one. So this is where I'm at now. So I'm filling in the dark brown lines. And I'm excited for this one. I don't have too much longer, and it's actually, the words and the lettering are actually a pretty quick stitch. So I'm really excited for that one. And I also want to try to finish that one. So those are kind of my 2 go-to ones right now. I know I still have to freaking finish Dumbo, but I will feel much more motivated because these 2 are like the closest ones that I have to finish. So I'm not super far off. I just need like a couple of days of stitching, I think. So if I feel like if I finish these, or if I get really close to finishing them and then I just like need a break for a little bit, I can go back to Dumbo and just stitch on that and stitch away on that, because that's like my 3rd one that I'm in. Also, I know it's crazy. I've been thinking about restarting Contessa. Or Beatrice, I'm sorry. I need to start calling her Beatrice because that is her name. So I've been thinking about restarting it only because I'm playing fabric chicken with her. And I am very worried that my lines, so I gridded across the top and down. And I know I have enough room, but I have enough room with like 1.5 inches to either side. So I'm only, I don't know, maybe like 7, not even 1,000 stitches in, maybe right around 1,000 stitches. It's just all 310, so it's all just black color blocking. But I think I might restart her on actually this fabric up there, which is what I bought for her. And then when I got that it's like an 18 count, I think. When I got that, or no, it's 20, I can't remember. But it was gigantic. And so I don't know if like the size of dimensions were off or something, but anyways. So I think I might just like and I got that piece of fabric. Maybe I'll just show you guys. Like it's huge. No, I'll show you another video. I don't want to get up right now. I'm lazy. So it's huge. And so I'm thinking about just like starting her like, like in the middle of her. Because like I said, I want to work on her because I love working on her. But right now I have to stitch her in hand. And so I made this like maritime little holder for her. Because I didn't want to, like, I don't want to take her places. I'll just show you her. Why not? So this, yeah, I'm only that far on her. So I mean, like, yeah, for a height, it's a lot, but like, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 550 stitches. See, I thought I had more. And it's not like I wouldn't ever use this fabric again, obviously. I mean, it's just white Aida, so I would definitely use it. So I think I might restart her, which is fine, because I want her, I want to work on her. I keep seeing Michelle's Contessa because she brings her to our Sunday stitches, and like, I love mine, but I don't want to carry this giant thing to Panera. She's also doing her on like a 25 count easy grade, I think. So mine's definitely going to be bigger than hers. But like, I want to take her, and if I could put her on like an 11 by 11 or even like an 11 by 17 key snap, I think I would do her a lot more. Because I have project bags that fit that size that I've made. But it's the stitching in hand. Like, I don't want to get her, I want to be able to put a grime guard on her and all that. So anyways, so I'm thinking about stitching her, and as I'm talking to you guys, it's a yes. Or restarting her, sorry. Anyways, so let's see. Those are the only things I've really worked on. Like I said, I did a bunch of stitching, as in like sewing. Oh, I did get 2 haul things, so I'll show those. I'm trying to think if I stitch on anything else. I don't think so. So haul. I did purchase a week or 2 ago. Some things off of the Bags Plus Live sale that Michelle had. And so I got a flip, which looks like this. So I think it's a, let's see. So it's a 45 pocket flip. And then it has, so there's for floss, Michelle's done these also. If you watch any of her videos, you know. And then there's a clear vinyl pocket. Just stick your pattern and stuff. It's not exactly, like, I mean, there's a little bit of overlap, but it is secure enough in there that it's fine. I like these. My only issue is that I am a Q-snap kind of girl, and so I would have to use this for a small pattern because when it's off the Q-snap, I don't want to like stretch this out, and so I don't want a ton of fabric. So like I could see like American Primitive or something going in there because it's just a little piece of fabric. So I do have a Disney Villains project I'm working on that's a poison apple that only has, I think, like 7 or 8 colors that I think would be perfect in here because the whole thing is like that big, you know. I also am starting to stitch. Oh, so anyways, so then I also got this one because I could not pass this up. So I am. I don't know what it's called. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one's what's what I 40. This is a 40 pocket, a little bigger pocket, but it's for London. So I am not. I can't remember what they're called, but like people are obsessed with England. I'm not technically obsessed with England because I could really care less about like what's going on in the royal family, but I just wish I could live in England. I love tea. I love that people are nice to each other there. Um, I love the landscape. I love the history. So that's what I like about it. So when I saw this one, I had the chance to go to London last spring for a friend's wedding. Well, they got married in Italy, but we went to London for like a week before, and it was. I just wish I could live there. It was awesome. So I had to get this one because it was so cute. I actually do have a Clouds Factory, I think, Henry VIII and his wives that I'm thinking about starting and putting in here because I think that would just be kind of fitting. So I bought those two things. And those actually, I think, are the only two things that I bought in the past couple weeks, which is cool. I've been really good. I've been really good without even really trying to be good, if that sounds weird. And part of it is just because I haven't really thought about stitching because I've been so busy. So next are things I've made. So, or actually, I'll do some plans first. So now that I think about it, I might actually start that Henry VIII because I think I have the floss for it, and that would be cool. I also signed up for a Halloween swap, a mini swap or a smalls swap. So I think I'm gonna do some of the some of those. And I also signed up to do like if someone isn't able to finish theirs. So I'm going to do 2 of them. I think I'm just going to do it on this linen. I'm going to change some of the colors because I am not a fan of orange. I don't like orange. And so I think I'm going to change. I really like the like kind of neon-y green that's in here. But I think I'm going to change some of the orange to either yellow or purple. So yeah. But I'm going to do 2 of those 4 squares on these for the swap. So I'm going to start on that. That actually might be what I put in the flip because the linen I do stitch in hand. So that might be easy to just stick those in there. Actually, I'll just put it in there right now. And I even have a skein of 310 right here. So that would be perfect. Well, I could use some fancy floss. Maybe I'll do that. That would be cool. I am going to do that. So let's get it out right now. It's up here in my fancy floss little thing. So I could either use, or I don't think I could use the Pearl Cottons because those are too big. But let's use, oh my gosh, I'm so excited now. Let's use, I do have black licorice. Perfect. And this is just that one. And then I'm going to use, I kind of like this one. That one's carrot or bittersweet. Which one do you guys think? I kind of like the carrot. I think I'm gonna do that one. It's a little darker. And then for the green and purple. Oh, but I also need some yellow maybe. Alright, so this is gonna be my colorway here. Dun, 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 dun. What do y'all think? They look a lot better without the glare of the light. But anyways, so that's going to be my colorway. I like that a lot. That'll look good. Sweet. Done and done. Maleficent leggings on. See? Alright, so we'll pop those. This is going to kind of be one of those weird, what's it called? Floss tubes. But I don't even care. So, how's everybody's day, huh? Good? Good, good, good. I gotta say, I'm actually like, because we're not in school, I wouldn't say like I'm bored, but like, I don't know, there's so many things you can just like hang out and do. Oh, there's my flosses, there's my fabric and my stuff. I'm good to go. Awesome. Let's get a needle minder on here. We're gonna do my little witch. Put that right there, good to go. Awesome. Done. One to go. Okay, so I also did some sewing, like I said yesterday, and Sunday, and so I'll show you guys what I got done. So and I'll have more information about this when we actually like go live or whatever. But my sisters and I have been thinking about opening up an Etsy shop for a while now. So I have a twin sister, and then I have an older sister. My older sister makes really pretty crocheted scarves that she kind of created her own pattern for an infinity scarf. And she gets really amazing yarn, and so they're just gorgeous. So she has sold at like the holiday market and the Saturday market for a while that we have here, and always done really well. And so we were like, you know what, let's do it. Like, we all make things. My twin sister, she makes things like I do. And then I obviously make cards, and then I also like to sew things. So we were like, you know what, let's do it. So we have always been the Woodlets. So my maiden name is Greatwood. And so we were always just kind of called the Woodlets. I don't know why, but it started when my dad was coaching, and some of the other coaches would call us the Woodlets because he had 3 daughters, of course. So, so we were thinking about, okay, what could we, like, we could be like Woodlet knitwear, Woodlet blah, blah, blah. And then my older sister thought, was like, well, because we all do different crafts, and there's going to be kind of a hodgepodge of things, at the store, why don't we call ourselves like the Woodlet Trading Post? Because that would be like, a bunch of different stuff. And so we really loved it. So that's what we're going to open up a shop. We're going to open up an Etsy shop, and then we're also going to have like a Facebook page and stuff. And if you're in the kind of Willamette Valley, Eugene, Portland, and surrounding areas, then we're going to be also doing some markets and stuff when it comes to that time. But I wanted to start out with, so my main focus is going to be paper crafting, and sewing like little bags and stuff. But I also wanted to sell some grime guards and project bags because that's what I like to do. I think right now I'm just going to stick with grime guards for a while, because they're easy and they're quick, and I can like bust out a bunch of them in a day. So I want to show you guys kind of what I have so far. So I made, okay, well, the other one is, this is my new whip, by the way. It's an Oregon fly fishing. It's really fun. But I made this bag that is just a project bag. I think it's like end up being like kind of like a 12.5 by 12.5. And then I added this little vinyl pocket. It's not as tight as the Bags Plus one, but I meant it to be just kind of like a catch-all. You can throw your charts and stuff. So right now I have this fly fishing chart, and I'll show you this to you guys a little bit closer. She has a lot of a really awesome charts. Her store name's up at the top. Pembria Charts, I think, on Etsy. She has a lot of really cool ones. Not all of them are Oregon. She has a lot of just really pretty, like, national forest ones. So I have this one in here. This is on an 8x8 Q-snap, and I made a grime guard, of course. I guess I'll just show you my progress. That's my progress. Yay! And then I also have in matching my America Primitive. And so this chart also fits right in there. And then I also had a little bit left over, so I made an 8x11 Q-snap grime guard. So that goes in there too. So that holds all that stuff, and it's all in matching fabric. And I like that it just kind of holds everything. I like kind of catch-all, hold-alls. So I also made a bunch of grime guards, and I'm waiting on some elastic coming because I ordered some off Amazon that's just big. So like I said, I'm doing the smalls swap. So I had to make a Halloween grime guard, and I made it out of this fabric, which I'm obsessed with. Oh, other way. So it kind of has like a purpley, I hope you guys can see it. It has kind of like a purpley hint to it. But it's skulls and skeletons. Skeletons and skulls. It's not necessarily Halloween, but it's definitely like kind of just like creepy, medical-y. It was in the Halloween fabrics at Joann's, obviously. So I made 2 8x8 grime guards. One I will be using, well, maybe not because I'm going to stitch on the linen, but one is for me. And then we are supposed to put in like a little Halloween treat. So I also made one for my swap partner. So that'll be cool. And those are just the like traditional 8x8 grime guards. So then I had some out of print Doctor Who fabric that looks like this. So I should also say, so all of my grime guards that I've made up to now or are planning on making are 8x8s. I will do some other sizes, but right now 8x8 is the easiest for me to just bust out because all I need is one with the fabric. I don't have to like cut and sew and add more. So I found this fabric that I've had forever that is all the doctors up until I don't know. And there's 2 rows of them. This one only shows one, but yeah. So I made 4 8x8 grime guards of those. So that's what I made. Yay! So I have 4 of those, and I will let you guys know. Like I said, I'll do a little bit more of an update on like when everything goes live and when if you would like to purchase something, when you can purchase stuff. I'll let you guys know. So then I have some cut and sewed and just waiting on my elastic. So I have one of this. I like the old school Rudolph. Ready to go. I have one of these Harry Potter little like mini. I guess it's really obviously because of the snow and there's snow on every single rooftop. It's really bright, and even when I pull the blinds down, it still comes through. Yay! So there's that one. Has some Harry Potter characters. And then so I have one of each of those, and then I have 4 of these, which looks like kind of like Hogwarts blueprint fabric. And it's like blues and teals. It's really pretty. So I will have 4 of those. And like I said, I don't know when we're going to go live. I have been doing some work, but I don't know if my sisters have had time to do some work. My one sister is the one who just got married last weekend. So she's been a little busy. I have 2 of these like kind of American Pride ones. I have like Lady Liberty and stuff. They're really cute. I have 2 of those. I have 2 of these Winnie the Pooh. It's like a sepia tone. It's just a little scene. Cute. Cute, cute. So I have 2 of those. I have two of these old school like Disney covers. So I have two of those. And then I have two of these Pokemon. Those will be 8x8s as well. I have a ton of fabric. Every time there's a sale, I try to just go up and buy at least 10 half yards of stuff. Excuse me. I have a ton. So I am gonna try to just, and that's why, that's like I said, some of the stuff I have like yards of, because I just really like the fabric, like the skulls. A lot of the Halloween fabric I have like a couple of yards of, but this one, I mean, I have a bunch of this, and so I will be making some project bags and stuff out of this. But right now, I just want to bust out some grime guards, and yeah, I have tons. I have licensed fabric. I have non-licensed fabric, and I've always bought with the intent of making grime guards and making project bags and selling them, in order to help facilitate my cross stitch budget. Right now, though, me being in grad school, honestly, it's just gonna help pay the bills, which is fine. If that means I buy one or two cross stitch things a month with some of the money, and then just save it for when in a year or so I'm not gonna be able to work at all, which is gonna suck because I have to do my full-time student teaching. And it's annoying because I'm going to be basically working full-time student teaching and not getting paid for it. Awesome. But anyway, so whatever money you guys, I'm hoping you guys will be interested in what I make. Whatever money I make from that will basically just be helping be my job because I'm not going to have a job. Yeah. So, and I don't want this to be like a pity party, obviously. Like we'll get by. I'm not saying that we're gonna like lose our house or anything. But yeah, just extra fun money. So, but that being said, I have a ton of fabric, and thankfully Chelsea and Michelle haven't been to my house yet to see all of my fabric, but it's literally in piles right there. But I don't want to show you back because I'm a little embarrassed. No, it's not bad. Honestly, it's not bad. It just looks bad because it's like piled high, because I folded them all and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm totally a fabric hoarder. I 100% am. I have this weird feeling of like, what if it runs out and then I won't have it anymore. And yes, I know that's a hoarding tendency, 100%. But yeah, I've been trying to get over that because I'm like, well, what good is it going to do sitting in my closet? Nothing, just gathering dust. So I want to start making things and stuff. So, so this is the end of like the traditional video. I was thinking about just kind of like stitching on some stuff. Oh, I did forget to say, I made these for our little Sunday Stitchers group. I made one grime guard and then this bag. I also pieced together a bunch of the scraps to make another grime guard for myself. I know I'm selfish. And Michelle, if you watch this and I forget to eventually text you or message you, I do have a little bit of that fabric left. So if you like it back, let me know. Or if you want another size grime guard, let me know. But yes, she had this Tula Pink fabric, and she asked me in one of our stitch together little get-togethers. She asked me if I could make 3 project bags with coordinating grime guards for the 3 of us to stitch, and I said, of course. So I finally got those done. So that was fun. I like doing that. Yeah. So I think right now I was just going to kind of stitch on my American Primitive or my Field of Fuchs, or actually my maybe I'll stitch on my Fly Fishing because that one's fun. And that's my full, actually, that's the other thing. Okay, so anyways, if you want to stop watching this video right now, love you. I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. I hope we will not be in Snowmageddon for very long, but you never know. So that's all. If you'd like to just kind of stay and hang out and stitch with me, I would love that too. So probably for about another, I don't know, half an hour or so, I'm just going to stitch. So like I said, I don't remember what I said because I can't remember where I was now. But anyways, I remember. So Michelle has been talking about when she is, when she's working on her Contessa, she is stitching like the 1,200 stitches or whatever for Full Coverage Fanatics. They're like 1,200 stitches monthly. So I decided that I want to do that with this because I want to try to finish this. It's not very big. It's only like 13 by 19, I think. Yeah, it's 130 stitches by 190 stitches. So it's not very big at all. But I would like to try to finish this for my dad for Christmas. And so I was like, okay, well, that 1,200 stitches, like it would help, 1,200 stitches a month. So I signed up to do the March one, but I want to try to kind of get as far as I can until March starts. So that's where I'm at. So this is where I'm at right now on it. And I'm just going to continue to go down here. So anyways, yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. How is everybody? I feel like it's, now that like the holidays and stuff have gone, and now we're into like the gross, like dead of winter. It's gross out. It's definitely gross out. I like it though. I'm definitely a cold weather person. Sorry, you guys can't like actually see me stitching. I don't know if I can like hold it right here. That might be easier. I don't have a cool fancy setup yet to like actually see me stitching, but whatever. So I'm doing this one on a 22 count. I think it's a hard hanger. Actually, I have it because I put it in my fancy little bag. Yeah, it's a 22 count hard hanger. And I'm stitching it over one. So there you will be able to see a little bit of like the white. If I would have thought about it a little bit more, I would have like dyed this fabric. But this is actually what I was gonna stitch Toulet. I keep calling it Toulet, and I don't know how it's pronounced. I believe it's French. I just do. I believe it's French, and I don't know French. So, toil? I don't know. Maybe that's how you say toil in French. But maybe that's how you spell it, because it has an E on the end, and I know that's not how you spell toil. So, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. We could do like a little bit about me. So as you guys have heard in some of my videos, I am in grad school to be a middle or high school social studies and language arts teacher. And it's really fun. I'm actually having a lot of fun. My background is in mental health, and I graduated in 2011 from our kind of local university, the University of Oregon, with a bachelor's degree in family and human services. And I totally fell in love with like behavioral health and mental health. I never really had an inkling to go do therapy. And I think it was because I do really good at being able to be relatively blunt and honest with people. And like, so one of my jobs I was contracted through DHS, and which is Department of Human Services, right? So I worked with people who had gotten their kids taken away, and were in the process of getting them back, like doing what they needed to get them back, or um, people who were at risk of getting their kids taken away. And I don't want to say enjoyed, because obviously that was a really hard job, but it was much easier for me to like look at a parent, and I also really liked working with adults. I liked working with parents, and kind of like teaching them how to be good parents. I don't have kids of my own, but the science behind stuff, the science behind mental health and behavioral health, is something that I really wholeheartedly believe in. Um, and so I enjoyed my job because I was able to be really upfront with people and be like, look, if you want your kids back, you have to stop doing drugs. You have to stop drinking. You have to, stop being with that guy in that relationship or that, so I liked being able to say that, like, I have 6 weeks with you and I can help you get the services you need set up. But in 6 weeks, DHS is going to come back and they're going to look at how much you've grown or how much you haven't grown. And that's going to be the deciding factor if you get your kids back or not, or if your kids can stay with you. And, so it was kind of like a let me help you here. I'm here for 6 weeks. I'm contracted through DHS, so I can't leave. I have to be here. And if you want to use me those 6 weeks, wonderful. We'll get your kids back. If you want to ignore me and cancel on all my appointments and blah, 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 then DHS is taking your kids. So, I like that because it was like I wasn't the enemy per se of like I'm gonna come take your kids, but I was able to be like, look, they have me here for a reason. Let's figure out what we can do to have your kids not be taken away. And with that being said, that job, I was not working with super, super, super intense cases. I mean, the cases that I worked with were intense because obviously you have DHS, involved in your life. There's something wrong. But our job was to basically monitor and make sure that the families that had like a lower level intensity case were the ones that we went into the home versus the DHS worker spending 10 hours a week with a family. So I didn't have any like super crazy. I mean, I had a lot of really disturbing cases, but none that were pertinent for like DHS or the kids to be like immediately removed and that kind of stuff. Like they were, the scary ones, the ones that you hear about on the news, right? Little kids dying and being hurt. Like I didn't have any of those. Thankfully. I did get really burnt out on that job, I'll be honest. That was actually so I ended up getting fired from that job, but it was also very mutual. Like, I was actively looking for jobs. I really wanted to be what I would call like in the trenches, and the job had developed and changed while I had it, to be more of like a hands-off observation job, and I wasn't good at that. I'll admit my flaws. I wasn't good at that. I wanted to be hands-on. I wanted to be, driving the people to their appointments and that kind of stuff. Because I think for me it was like that shows that they're willing to work on stuff. So yeah. But yeah. So I ended up getting fired from that job, but it was, like I said, it was okay. It was fine. Yeah. So I got started in mental health. That was my original job field experience. I worked in a residential facility. I worked in a residential facility school. I've worked with youth kind of transitioning into the adult program world. I've worked with homeless youth. My last job right before I decided to go back to school was working with families um, with some pretty severe traumas, um, helping them teach, basically helping teach parents how to be parents and how to parent a kid with a mental health concern, because that's very different than parenting just a I don't even like saying normal kid because I have to stop because it's a lot different. Um, and a lot of the time, what we found was um, the parents also had mental health concerns, and so it was like a cyclical. The kid was abused by the parent because the parent was abused by their parent, and so on and so on and so on. So, um, a lot of my job was kind of helping the parent understand, like, this is the cycle that you're going through. If you would like to stop that cycle, let me know. And I can help you with that. And then, kind of like simultaneously, the kid was learning how to, control their emotions and regulate their emotions and how to, cognitive flexibility and all those kind of $5 big ticket words. And it was awesome. I absolutely loved that job. I told my supervisor that honestly, if it wasn't for this job, I would never have been able to find out that I was burnt out. This job showed me time, and it valued self-care, and being able to take a mental health day and not be penalized for it, and just take some time to like relax and decompress, because we were on the front lines in that job, and I worked with harder situations in that job than jobs when we were contracted through GHS. The kids had more trauma, and the parents had more trauma, and it was just like a generational trauma. And I had some kids who had some horrific things happen to them. And this job valued us as employees saying, yeah, I need a break for a day. I need to take a long weekend, a Friday or a Monday, and just decompress. And so I really appreciated that, and that was honestly when I kind of figured out, like, you know what, I have always loved teaching, and I want to be in the schools. I want to be there in the schools, helping kids, because there is kind of like a mental health crisis right now in our schools. We have, and I, even being in the mental health world, I don't like the word, like, everybody has a trigger. And I learned from a supervisor a long time ago, the word trigger means that something's automatically going to happen. If a kid is triggered by something, it means that, you're saying that that kid is going to have a blowout. And what I am a big proponent of is teaching a kid that there can be something that's really hard and they can struggle with, but they can also know how to deal with that. And so I was never really a fan of the word triggers, because trigger, you pull a trigger and something happens. And in this connotation was usually meant that something bad was going to happen. But there was room for something good happening. And I think in our schools right now, we have a lot of teachers who aren't aware of the complexities that mental health has. Our world is very different than it has been in the past. Bullying, yes, is still, shoving a kid up to get his lunch money in the locker, but it's also not. It's not that. you know, it's happening online and it's happening, you know, kind of under parents' noses. And so I wanted to be able to have those relationships with kids that I was having, um, but have them in a school setting, in a classroom setting, and be able to, like, you know, kind of be there every day. Um, and so I told my supervisor one day, I was like, you know what? I think I want to go back to school. And they were amazingly supportive. I would have never guessed that. And they were just like, you know, let us know how we can help. You know, obviously, we hate to see you go, but we want you to be happy, and we want you to be healthy. And I realized it actually when I was sitting in a meeting. I used to do, like, I would gather information for updates and things like that when we needed to turn them into the insurance. And um, so I would have to, like, redo, you know, sometimes their history, um, their trauma history and stuff. And I remember sitting in a meeting with the adoptive parents, and for this particular family, there were still things that were coming out about their trauma. Um, and I remember sitting there on my computer and I was asking questions about, you know, like their trauma and, you know, how has that really affected them right now personally. Um, and I remember hearing one of the most horrific trauma stories that, now being able to look back at it, I have ever heard. And I've heard some pretty horrific trauma stories. Um, and I didn't even bat an eye. I went on to the next question and was completely numb by it. And it wasn't until after I was done with that meeting and I was kind of re-going over my notes and filling in the holes that I almost had one of those, like, aha moments where I, like, pushed my chair back and I was like, wait a minute. I can't do this. I mean, I just completely, not ignored, but, like, my alarms are going off in my head of, like, Emmy, what, pardon my French, but, like, what the fuck did you just listen to that now you're just going on with your day? Um, and so that was really hard, and I struggled with that for about a week, um, of, like, what do I do? Because right now I don't have kids, and I gave everything to my clients and everything to my family. And I would come home some days and, you know, I mean, my husband and I joke that, like, I would come home some days and just come right up to my craft room. Well, I would go change into, like, what I have on right now, take my bra off for one, um, and then come right into my craft room. And there would be sometimes where I would just, like, sit and watch YouTube, and I would sit and watch FlossTube, or I would sit and watch quilting videos or card making videos, and, like, just sit, not speak to anyone, and sometimes not even do anything. Like, I would just sit there, bundled up in my robe, in a blanket, whatever, and just sit. Um, and after that, after I kind of got through that week of, like, what did I just listen to? I had the realization of, like, when I have kids, which, you know, my husband and I are, you know, we're waiting until after I get done with grad school because I don't want to do that with the baby or being pregnant. Like, when I have kids, like, I can't do that. I can't just be a complete, like, absentee parent. I don't want to. Not that I, like, couldn't. I physically and mentally and emotionally do not want to be that kind of parent. And I mean, like, I do that enough with my husband where, you know, like, and he knows, you know, we've been able to have a really good open relationship where, you know, he knows the work that I do, and he knew that, you know, there would be some days where I would come home and I would, like, get right in the shower and then go right to bed. Um, And my spirituality helped with that a little bit. I'll go over that in my next chat with me video. It helped a little bit, but sometimes it was just too much. It was too much. And so I had to go to my supervisor and basically explain exactly what I just explained to you guys. Like, I can't do this. I can't do this with kids. I can't continue on the path I'm going and not be burnt out about it. Like, I think I had a lot of compassion fatigue. And anyone who's in like the education or mental health field will know kind of what the difference between like burnout and compassion fatigue is. I would get up in the morning and just be like, I don't want to hear another story. I can't. I physically can't. I can't hear another story. And that was hard. It was hard because I absolutely 100%, no doubt in my mind, loved this field. I still do. And I think that's a testament to, number one, the agency that I was with and my supervisors and my managers. They were absolutely phenomenal. My coworkers were amazing. They let me be really vulnerable and ask myself some pretty intense questions of like, do you want to do this? Can you do this? So yeah, that's where I was at with that. So not a happy place, and sad. I loved my job. I loved what I did. I loved my coworkers. I loved who I worked with. I loved my families. But I knew that in order to make Emmy happy, and to, bring my color back, bring my spark back, I needed to switch it up. And yeah, so I looked into teaching. I've always loved teaching. I've always loved history. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do grad school. And at the same time, my sister-in-law was thinking about, she had always wanted to be a teacher. So she was like still finishing up her undergrad stuff. Because right now colleges are just crazy. And so she spent like 6 years getting her undergrad. It's ridiculous. But she was looking at a little local, it's actually a Christian school, but they have a great graduate program for teaching. It came out to about what the U of O would have been. And I didn't have to take any prereqs. I didn't want to have to go back to school. And so I applied, she applied, and we both got in, which is awesome. So we're going to school together, only she's doing primary. She wants kindergartners, which I think is like hurting cats. So thank you. Yeah. So we're doing that now. And I currently work at a rural school in the life skills program. Hold on, someone texted me. I don't know who it is. Oh, it's maybe. In the life skills program, which I absolutely love. It's amazing. I don't want to do special ed or life skills at all, but being able to work work with those kids is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. They have so much joy, and like they love everything. So anyways, it's about a good stopping point. We're at about an hour, and I need to change out my thread. So I got a couple rows done. I basically got from about here down. So pretty good. Not too shabby. I feel like I did a lot of talking too. Not a ton of stitching. But I'll try to figure out how I can get a good setup here so that you guys don't have to look at my face while I'm stitching. You guys can actually look at my stitching. I have one from when I used to do card making tutorials. But I don't know if I can get it close enough. Maybe I could put it like right here. Maybe that would help. So I'll figure it out. But anyways, thanks for watching if you guys watched the whole thing, or even thanks for watching if you guys just watched the half an hour version. That was great too. Now I gotta try to go figure out how to insert pictures and things, which will be interesting. But yeah, if I get bored, you guys might see me again, and I'll do like a long stitch with me, like an hour of just stitch with me. That would be crazy. But anyways, I'll see you later, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. We're almost to 100 subscribers, you guys. And I think I'm going to make something special for my 100 subscribers, like a project bag and a matching grime guide or something, and do a giveaway. Um, so we're almost there. I'm so excited. Okay. We just hit an hour mark. So now I feel like it's appropriate for me to sign off. But okay, happy stitching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.